Hi, I had someone email me with a question on Chapter 13, wondering about time periods when you knew if it was an ordinary annuity or an annuity due. Basically, all the questions can be done either way. You just have to make sure that when you look at it, you use the right number of periods. So, for example, we're going to look at example 13.1a in the textbook. So Mr. and Mrs. Templeton are setting up a fund to help their granddaughter. She's going to be able to withdraw $3,000 every 3 months for 3 years, but it's not going to happen. Her first withdrawal is not going to be until 5.5 years from now. We're told the fund can earn 7.2% compounded quarterly. So what single amount contributed today will provide for the withdrawals? So they look at it as if it's an ordinary annuity. So the money that's they invest now is going to have 5.5 years before any withdrawals happen. Then once they start withdrawing money, they're not going to withdraw it all at once. So what's left in the fund will, like after each withdrawal, the balance that's left is still going to earn interest. So they give a time diagram viewed from today. Now they're looking at this one as a ordinary annuity. So that means that the payments occur at the end of a period. So here the periods are quarters. So the payment that would occur, that would happen at the 5.5 years, that payment is taking place at the end of the quarter. So we have to work out the amount of money that needs to be there at the beginning of that quarter. So that's why here we look at it as if it's 5.25 years. But down, I'm just going to skip over the rest for a second. But when they look at it as an annuity due, the payment is made at the beginning of that period. So the payment that's made in 5.5 years, that payment is made at the beginning of that period. So that's why there's a difference here. There's 22 periods between the start here and when they make their contribution here, and when she starts college and the first payment is made or received by her, I guess. It's the whole 5.5 years, because right at the date of payment in 5.5 years, that's the beginning of a new period. So it's 22 periods. Whereas here, if you want to look at it as an ordinary annuity, you have to think, okay, she's going to get a payment at 5.5 years, but that is at the end of the period. So the beginning of the period is 3 months before. So then you have to take that 3 months off the 5.5 years to get 5.25 years. So when you solve, the first part is exactly the same, except here you have to put your calculator in beginning mode, because it's still 7.2% interest at 4 payments per year for 12 payments, because it's 4 payments a year for 3 years. The payment amount $3,000. So you get your present value, and that's the present value here. And then same thing below, you just do the same thing with your beginning mode. The difference is when you calculate here, we have 21 payments because we're doing it at 5.25 years, and down here we have 22 payments. So any of the questions can pretty much be done the same way. It's just if you're going to use an ordinary annuity, then you have to make sure that you calculate the number of payments here by going back a period, because the amount that's being paid out will be paid at the end of a period. Whereas if you look at it, if you want to do it as an annuity due, then you need to make sure that you have your timeline correct and you have the correct number of periods going right to the payment date. Okay, hope that helps.